I appreciate you subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know what you think. Here we are, septic tanks, vacant land investment. The fact that these septic tanks even existed on the property when I bought it was the beginning of possibly a good thing. But one of them was missing a lid, got ran over or something, got broken. So that was the first setback. And really, they're only valuable if they work, and they're only valuable if there is a lid on it too. So let's go through. I'm going to show you a little bit of tour just on the septic tanks, because when you're buying vacant land, investing, the utilities and the availability of utilities and things like that are a huge part of it. So the fact that the lid's not on there kind of gives us a good view, at least, to see what's going on. Went ahead and secured it while we were away from the site just to make sure nobody fell in, nothing got broken even further, stuff like that. So that's kind of what I had laying around there, and got it secured for the most part. Here's where we're filling it up with water. It only has any value if it works. So I called out Septic Tank Company. They're going to do an inspection. So they're going to fill it up with water up to that pipe on the right is where the water goes out of the septic tank. The pipe on the left is where the water from the other septic tank there flows into the second one. So what he's doing there is filling up that 5-gallon bucket with water to do a flow rate test on these septic tanks. So he's measuring how much time it takes to fill up that 5-gallon bucket with water. And then he knows the flow rate of the water coming out of that hose. And then he's going to time how long the water takes to go out of that pipe on the right. I think he's looking for 240 gallons. And that needs to happen like in 30 something. I think it was like 38 minutes. I'm not exactly sure, but without any water coming up into the grass out into that field. Not an exhaustive explanation of how these septic tanks work, but if you got a similar situation, you could call a local septic tank company. These guys were pretty helpful in just explaining the whole process and how that works. So we got the water up to the level where it's flowing out of that tank on the right, and there's some sort of like a drain field out into the grass there next to it. So that drain field, depending on the size of the tanks and the size of the house, needs to be able to take a certain amount of water. So he did the test. We passed. He put those green poly lids on there. The one's got a little bit of a riser on it, so that's going to secure them. That circle concrete lid was just super unsecure. I mean, it was barely hanging on. If somebody had jumped on it, I think they probably could have fell in, broke something, hurt something, at least got a good scare. So got them inspected, got them checked out. Everything passed. It's good for a 3-bed, 2-bath type of structure on there, either a mobile home or a small house, from what the septic tank company told me. So that's kind of the process I used. So that just added value. He said to replace a system like this, probably about $10,000 to put in a new system. And that's $10,000 I didn't have to spend. I bought that square lid from him for about $650. And I think he gave me the green lids for free on that. And it seemed like there was a couple other, I don't know, I guess I paid him $650. Oh, then I paid him $200 to do that water flow test to make sure the septic tanks were good, So if we would have failed at that point, it would have just been $200 into the test, and then we would have never bought the lid. But there it is. We did it. It's done. Septic tank's good. So the utilities on this lot are ready to go. So appreciate you watching the video. Subscribe, comment, like, let me know what you think.